takes a skill for you to clearly pass it to those that you're leading. It's a skill. And you've got to practice it, improve yourself on it, develop yourself in that score so that you can clearly share it with those that you're leading. But then for you to be able to clearly do it, there are three things that must characterize that vision. Thank you so much for joining us again today on Oscar Amisi's leadership podcast, where we are so passionate about leadership, equipping people with practical, high-capacity tools to drive societal transformation. Let's now dive into part 2 of this teaching as we continue on vision and visioning and why it's important for a leader to be able to set out and clearly communicate vision to those that they are leading. You may be wondering, so how do I get a vision? I want to share with you 4 steps. I call them the 4 steps to unpacking your vision. A good friend of mine shared this with me, and I will share this with you. His name is Perry Lalube. He shared this with me many, many years back. 4 steps to unpacking your vision. 1, you do these 4 things, and you'll be able to know what your vision is, and even be able to document it as you get to articulating it to the people around you. Number 1, the first step to unpacking your vision is to describe your vision. Describe your vision. In describing your vision, you have gained clarity and are able to transfer your vision on paper. You've thought about, this is what I feel I need to do. This is where the organization is going. And you're able to take those thoughts and put them on paper. That's describing. Literally documenting your vision. Writing it somewhere. It's either on a tablet, in a book, on paper. You see, the problem, there are many people who say they have a vision, but they've never documented it. You see, what you don't document, you will not apply. I don't know about you, but many of us, if your mind works like our minds, sometimes we forget what we are supposed to remember, and we remember what we are supposed to forget. Unless we document it, we will forget it. I dare say this. You can't claim to have a vision unless you have documented it. That you can write it down, you can pull a book, a paper, or a tablet and say, this is where I have documented my vision. That's the first step of unpacking a vision for you as an individual, for your organization, or for the business that you're running. You need to document it. That if somebody asks you, what are you up to? What does the next 5 years look like? You can pull a document, either on computer or a hard copy, and say, this is where I see us being in the next 5 years. Number 2, once you've described it, you inscribe it. You describe it, then you inscribe it. And in inscribing your vision, the vision has moved from just a picture that excites your head to an inferno that consumes your heart. It is not just a picture in your mind that was documented on paper. It is now an inferno. It is now a conviction. It is a consuming fire in your heart. It is no longer, it moves from the point of, I hope it will be done. It's gotten to a place whereby you're saying, I believe it's going to be done. It has become an internal conviction that nobody can move you out of it. If anybody woke you up at 3 a.m. in the morning and asked you your vision, you will recite it over and over and over again. You're so clear on it. At this stage, nothing can speak you out of it. But then how did it start? You described it. Then you inscribed it. And inscribing it, you learn to believe in it yourself. You read it to yourself. You consume it. You turn it right side up. Change, strengthen, correct where you're supposed to be. You convince yourself. At this stage, you're so convinced about it. You believe in it so much. You've asked yourself all the questions around it that nobody, no naysayer can come and speak you out of it. That's the inscription stage. See, once you've inscribed it, then you can advance to the next stage. And the next stage is to prescribe it. Remember, you described it. You put it, you documented it. Then you inscribed it. You consumed it yourself, convinced convinced yourself. It's become an internal conviction. It is not just a picture in your head. It is an inferno in your heart. That if I came and woke you up at 3 a.m. and asked you, what's your vision? You'll be able to recite it and speak it. Doesn't matter what I tell you, I can't move you away from it because you believe in it so much. And that's the most important thing, that if you have a vision, the first person who should believe in that vision is yourself before you get other people to believe in it. Many people, unfortunately, want other people to believe in their vision while they've not yet believed in it themselves. Once you've done it, then you can get to the third stage, which is to prescribe. And at prescribing, it has become so part of you, it's burning in you. You are now ready to share it out to other people out there, to share it with your friends. You are able to release it. Unfortunately, many people want to share their vision before they even inscribe that vision. You want to skip the stage of inscribing. You want to jump into prescribing. That's why many of us are discouraged. Many people come and talk us out of that vision that we thought we had, why we never inscribed it first. So hear me, describe it, inscribe it, then prescribe it. You're sharing it with your friends, talking to people and telling them, this is what I feel is the direction my organization is taking. You see, if you do it so well at prescription stage, and you'll only be able to do it so well at that stage if you are able to document and inscribe it, then you can do the fourth stage. And the fourth stage is to get people to subscribe into the vision. People start to buy into the vision. And people will buy into your vision, not because of the language or how big you think it is because you followed the first 3 steps. You described it, you inscribed it, you believe in it so much, and you've clearly prescribed it. You know how to communicate it. Then others will buy into your vision. It becomes no longer an individual thing. People start to buy into it. That's why you hear this term, I've subscribed to this telco. I've subscribed to this share. I've subscribed in this company. The reason why people subscribe in companies is because it didn't start at subscription stage. It started at description stage. Somebody documented, somebody inscribed, then somebody started to prescribe, convinced people, and they started to buy into the vision. Listen, this is a skill that any leader needs. Not just for your organization, but even for your life. Learn to envision. Learn to communicate and clearly communicate where you're going. Your people will not grow up in darkness. And then learn to, you're wondering, how do I do this? How do I get it? Yeah, not just for my organization, but even for me as an individual. I've given those 4 steps that you could use. Let me share with you, lastly, the characteristics of that vision. If you're to envision properly, you see, envisioning, like I said, is the ability to see the future, foresee the future, while in the present. But it takes a skill for you to clearly pass it to those that you're leading. It's a skill. And you've got to practice it, improve yourself on it, develop yourself in that score so that you can clearly share it with those that you're leading. But then for you to be able to clearly do it, there are 3 things that must characterize that vision. 3 things. And then we'll share these, and then we will be done. 1, the vision must be clear. And I think we can't overemphasize this. We've said it over and over again. The vision must be clear. When it comes to the process of envisioning, people, clarity is power. Clarity is your power as a leader. If it's not clear, then like we said earlier, people are groping in darkness. Clarity of vision is about the ability to clearly communicate the vision in a way that is simple, memorable, and precise. Remember, it's got to be simple. People can understand it, not complicated. Memorable. People can remember it and recite it. That's why it has to be simple for people to remember. And 3, precise. Direct to the point. It has to be that. That's when you say it is clear. If your vision is not characterized by this, then it's going to be a tall order. It has to be clear. 2, it has to be compelling. The vision must be compelling. Compelling because a compelling vision is one that elicits passion, provokes initiative, lifts up the hopes of the people, and energizes their faith. You want people to say, yeah, man, I want to be part of this thing. It makes them develop something in their hearts that says, I don't like the nights because the nights stop me from pursuing this vision. I want the days because during the day I can pursue and fulfill this thing that is so much bigger than me. Energizes their faith, lifts up their hopes, shows them all things are possible, shows them that the future has possibility. This is what a compelling vision does. Make sure your vision is compelling. It means it shouldn't be a small vision. It's got to be a big vision, bigger than you, bigger and bigger than you. And then lastly, not only does it have to be clear, compelling, the vision must be constructive. It's got to be constructive. It must communicate, listen to this, it must communicate an aspect of impact and transformation. The people that you're leading, when you communicate your vision, must be able to see that the vision is bigger than the visionary. You see, if the vision ends with you and your family, then it is not a constructive vision. If the vision will end in your lifetime, then it is not a constructive vision. They've got to see that this vision is bigger than the visionary, goes far. That's why it shouldn't be a 2-year vision, a 3-year vision. It should be a generational vision, multi-generational, goes beyond the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, goes beyond. That's a vision that will outlive the visionary. A vision that is constructive, not only does it outlive the visionary, but it impacts and benefits society. So it's not just about you. It's not so much about the leader. No, it's a vision that comes with a desire to bring solutions to the problems of society. So I am a businessman, not because I want just to make money and live a good life. I am starting this business because I want to sort out and solve the problems of society. Could be unemployment. It could be infrastructural concerns. I am a pastor, not because I just want a good congregation, but it's because I want to see the community where I am at develop and transformed. I am a politician, not just because I want to see my name in the press or sit in the seats of authority, but I want to see when my time is over that people will say the nation benefited because of the things that I did. I am a CEO, not because I want to earn a big fat salary, but it's because I want to see people's lives changed, societal problems sorted out and solved. It is constructive. The vision has to be clear, the vision has to be compelling, and the vision must be constructive. The essence of leadership is having a vision and being able to envision those that you lead. Dear leader, I'm going to challenge you. Would you ask yourself, do I have a vision? Is it documented? And am I clearly communicating it to the people that I'm leading? Are they owning it? Then you know you're embarking on a great journey as a leader. And this is it for this week. Hopefully you'll join us next week as we continue on this subject of vision and visioning and why it is so important. Again, like I said, if this is impacting you, go ahead and share, like, and subscribe, and then share this YouTube content to many that are around you. And those of you who are saying, I want more content, again, go visit Amazon. Get my latest book on leadership. Seed it out. How great leaders become great leader makers. And I tell you, you will make a difference in society. See you next week as we continue this conversation. Shalom.